Hello, Taurus, the bull. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for stopping by. This is 108 Times Back Home Tarot, and welcome to your February 2023 reading. It's been a while, huh? Well, Happy New Year's. Hope you had a good time. Family, friends, by yourself. Happy Chinese New Year's. Happy mini New Year's of all the expansions of this universe. This is just one New Year's on this platform, and the multi-dimensional. There's probably simultaneously numerous New Year's happening that we're not even aware of. But let's get into this reading. So today I'll be using the Herbal Tarot deck. It's a deck that I had. Actually, it was my first deck that I had, and it grew on to me. Didn't really like it in the beginning, but as time went by, I was like, I like you. You're cool. So let's give it a little shuffle. And my reading is very simple. You have a past, present, future spread, and we have the Judgment card as your past. And as I shuffle some more, I take out 2 extra cards. I put it right on top of the center card, which symbolizes your state of mind. And then I take out another card and place it under the present card, which symbolizes your current state of heart, state of chakra. Let's see what the heart is trying to say. A message that transcends from the spiritual world. Fallen lotus feet of the Supreme. So we have King of Swords reverse. Then we have the Knight of Cups upright. Right here. And then we'll take out the card, which symbolizes your current state of mind. Which you'll get the Emperor. And what is your current state of the heart? Your heart chakra. We have the 4 of Pentacles. Alright. I really like this card, the Judgment card. I like how the woman, the Mataji, is extending her arms to the divine, as divine plays. And this is illustrated as it's almost like a French horn. But if you transcend this instrument, it's actually a conch shell. But this is a Judgment card. Judgment card, just knowing that this new awakening that you're going through, Taurus, is an awakening that is long, not just overdue, but long awaited journey. It hasn't been easy, but now you're here. This new year, this new energy that is opening onto this platform, it signifies a moment of self-realization, truth. This is the Supreme calling to you, knowing that everything that you've gone through had a purpose. And this purpose was to completely learn how to love yourself. And through loving yourself, forgive yourself. By forgiving yourself, you'll be able to forgive others. Because if you really take the time to through this whole process to get to this moment, you realize that we're all children of the Supreme. To hate someone, to despise someone, is also doing that onto the beloved. Apologize for the background noise. And let's just take this moment to cherish that yes, this is a sign you are and will always be directed to the path of the higher self, of the transcending self-realization. So the next card we have is the King of Swords. The King of Swords reverse tells us all this knowledge that you're getting from the Judgment card. You're acquiring a knowledge that will lead to a breakthrough. Examine your own attitudes and responsibility in this matter. And you're gaining more information before you make a judgment call, which is interesting because you have judgment right here. You're sitting down and your sword is not raised up, you have it down, because even though you are protecting yourself, you're protecting your mind, you're protecting this great new platform that you're building, this new foundation. You're protecting it, but at the same time, you're knowing that by being so defensive, it's also a sign of weakness somewhere in your consciousness. So instead of like pointing at everyone and like charging them and like, you know, like confronting them, because the Taurus will always walk straight to the problem. Even if they're scared, you'll still face the problem head on, just like the bull. But in this situation, it says that you're taking the time to really understand this information that's coming from the Supreme. So when you step forward to the future, you don't just step forward just aggressively, harshly, and like get out of my way. You step forward with a well equilibrium balance of state of mind, because now this Knight of Cups, as you move to the future, seems to me like this like intense, this moment of like you have to stay still, this moment of like wanting to even like get up and enjoy the day. You can, but it's best if you like think about it, because when I think about it, it's best that you still sit down here, because you're in a moment of meditation. You're like chanting, and you're like realizing that downloads are coming, realizations are coming, and the more because realizations are coming, the more you bring your sword down, because you're like, why am I fighting? I must, this change is coming, and it's here now. And as you take all this information, now the heart, all this information interrogated from the mind goes down to the heart. Now you come out successful as a Knight of Cups. You have all your emotions being offered in this cup. As you look in the future, acknowledge what you've learned. Acknowledge all this emotional fulfillment that you know that cannot be fulfilled by anything that is material. It can only be fulfilled by the Supreme, because everything comes from the Supreme. So the fact that you wanted to have something tangible to claim that is yours, like this beautiful butterfly, it's an illusion, because the true love is the true love of the Supreme. And if along the way the Supreme brings you something or someone, then you accept it, because now you feel mature about yourself, balance, and which takes us to the Emperor, which makes sense, because the Emperor now that you have taken this moment to clarify, to bring clarity to your mind, now this fusion brings you to the Emperor, this transcendence have transferred me to the Emperor. emperor is like the king, but the emperor is a wise king that is following the laws of the great sages, that have been also taught by the wisdom of the Supreme. And by following this wisdom of the Supreme, everyone in a community, doesn't matter what level of society, either a Brahmin, which is like the sages, Kashastra, which is like the government or the defense of the community, almost like the military, and then the Gahastras, which are like the householders, and the Shudras, which are like the labor workers, will all be completely in harmony, because when a king is following the principles of the higher Supreme, then everything in his community will be fulfilled and will not be overlooked, because everyone will receive the saturation of what is needed in order to live a fulfilled life in this material world. But the king knows that the truth is that everyone in his community, in the city, in this world, is meant for going back to self-realization, going back home, because his body is going to be left here. True self is becoming empowered through a higher consciousness. And currently in your heart is the Four Pentacles. Four Pentacles in this deck clarifies that as you're pointing, you're changing your mind, your heart is also like slowly clearing out. You're slowly purifying your heart, because the information is coming down now. And this porta potty, or this, like, it was not even a porta potty, but these, like, I don't know how they call them, and when you go hiking, there's like this, like, I forgot how they're called, but we use the restroom there. This is like you still are spiritually like letting go of everything, so there's still more to let go. So obviously that's why the King of Sword is down, because you know that there's still more to let go in order to feel the confidence to be the Emperor. So I'm going to take out a card out of the Indigo Angel Oracle deck to give us a little understanding to see what message the Supreme has for the Bull Gang, Taurus, for February 2023. I'm kind of giggling because it's here. Love yourself. Perfect message from the Supreme, which correlates with the Knight of Cups, because you're learning to love yourself. Loving yourself, forgiving yourself, and through forgiving yourself, be able to forgive everyone. So let's see what it says. Love yourself. This card reminds you of how beautiful your indigo mission, life, and soul are. You deserve happiness, and the most powerful way to bring it into your life is to be a source of it. Love yourself, even if it doesn't seem natural, and you'll be a conduit for higher energy. Take time today to focus on at least one thing you appreciate about yourself. Your relationship with you is the most intimate one you have on this lifetime. The more you love yourself, the more you can focus your energy specifically on the greater good. And I'll take that as a confirmation by the rooster. So there you go. This loving yourself will awaken as the rooster is awakening to this judgment, awakening to this new love, awakening to this new self-confidence. And as you're letting go, you're purifying yourself, because as you love yourself and you put the Supreme in the center, everything's successful. And I'll take out a card as well. Well, not a card, but an index card that I kind of put together. Well, I did put together. And just a final message to kind of wrap up this reading for Taurus, February 2023. You have nescience. Nescience means basically lack of knowledge, ignorance. And this word is heavy, but the reason why I chose this to put it into this index selection was because through this darkness of ignorance that we were in throughout many years or times or days or years or minutes or times, it has pushed you to become this priestess, this feminine energy, this energy of accepting that you cannot do everything by yourself, that you must either surrender or cultivate the higher true self of what you really want to do in this life. So ignorance is just telling me that the ignorance that we all are in, but specifically referring to you, Taurus, it's this nescience, this lack of knowledge. You're now receiving the proper knowledge from the disciplinic successions of acharyas that come throughout millennia, time immemorial, and the proper knowledge will set you free, which makes sense because the lack of not having the proper knowledge which you're receiving now is allowing you to let go and love yourself. And as you're clean, also clean, rearranging your mind, you're becoming this mature, or becoming this fulfill this cup of like love, which in the end will purify your state of mind and completely close this cycle as you're transitioning, because you are transcending the science of self-realization. So this is your reading, Taurus. I hope that you have a great day and a beautiful rest of the month, and I'll see you soon. Hare Krishna.